Hi, everyone. Welcome back to EdgeBytes from the Enterprise Edge, where you get signal over noise in the enterprise AI era. The enterprise AI market is starting to separate into two camps: companies building smarter interfaces and companies rebuilding the operating logic of the enterprise itself, where some CEOs are predicting that AI could autonomously handle nearly half of operational decisions by the year 2030. I'm Mark Vigoroso, founder and CEO of the Enterprise Edge, and today we're going to quickly break down the significance of recent announcements over the past week or so from four major tech players: IBM, SAP, Workday, and Intuit, and what customers, partners, and competitors should take away. So these announcements from these four heavyweights reveal something bigger than just, say, product launches. They expose the emerging architecture of the AI era enterprise. And the winners may very well be the companies that control operational context, trusted business data, execution workflows, governance layers, and decision velocity, all simultaneously. SAP said it directly at Sapphire last week. CEO Christian Klein framed the company's direction around the autonomous enterprise, adding, "Almost right, just isn't good enough." That line matters because SAP is positioning itself around deterministic execution, governed automation, and business process precision, not chatbot novelty. SAP's announcement combined SAP Business AI, Business Data Cloud, Knowledge Graph, and Joule orchestration into a unified execution layer designed to let AI agents operate across finance, procurement, supply chain, HR, and operations with policy awareness and transactional integrity. That is a very different market position than generic AI assistants. SAP is effectively arguing that enterprise AI without process context is basically operational theater. Most enterprises don't suffer from lack of AI models. They suffer from fragmented data, disconnected workflows, duplicate systems, approval bottlenecks, compliance constraints, and organizational drag. The companies controlling those operational systems now possess a major structural advantage in enterprise AI. Reuters recently highlighted the growing importance of ontology in enterprise AI, structured maps of enterprise relationships, business objects, workflows, and operational dependencies. SAP's knowledge graph strategy aligns directly with that shift. That creates significant implications for the likes of Oracle, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Microsoft Dynamics, and Infor, because the competitive question is no longer who has AI. It's whose AI understands how the business actually works. That distinction becomes even clearer when you compare SAP's direction with Intuit's latest move into the mid-market enterprise stack. Intuit's announcement was likely one of the most strategically aggressive releases of the last month. The company described Intuit Enterprise Suite as an AI-native ERP and a command center for modern finance teams. That wording is deliberate. For years, Intuit lived adjacent to ERP. Now it's moving directly toward the center of operational finance for the mid-market. And unlike many ERP vendors trying to retrofit AI into decades-old architectures, Intuit has an enormous advantage: behavioral financial data at SMB and mid-market scale. Millions of businesses already run payroll, invoicing, payments, bookkeeping, tax workflows, cash flow management, and forecasting through Intuit ecosystems. That creates extremely high frequency operational telemetry. In practical terms, Intuit sees business motion earlier than many traditional ERP providers. The strategic implication is significant. Intuit is becoming less of an accounting platform and more of a financial operating system for growth stage companies. That puts pressure on the likes of NetSuite, Sage Intacct, Acumatica, and even portions of Microsoft Business Central, especially because Intuit's AI approach appears focused on compressing decision latency for finance teams, not just reporting the numbers, interpreting them, recommending actions, surfacing anomalies, accelerating operational decisions while reducing managerial friction. And that's where the market is really heading. The next phase of enterprise software, value creation, really won't come from more dashboards. It will come from reducing the time between signal detection and operational action. Meanwhile, Workday's announcement with Microsoft may look smaller on the surface, but strategically, it's highly consequential. Workday embedded its Sana self-service agent directly into Microsoft 365 Copilot so employees can complete HR and finance tasks without leaving their flow of work. That sentence reveals the new battlefield, workflow gravity. The future leaders in enterprise applications won't be the companies with the deepest standalone applications. They may be the vendors that become invisible inside daily work patterns. Workday understands something many enterprise vendors might still be underestimating, and that is employees do not want another destination platform. They want resolution inside existing behavior, inside of Teams and Outlook, Copilot, workflow context. That creates both opportunity and risk for Workday. The opportunity is, Workday strengthens its relevance inside the Microsoft productivity universe while improving employee adoption and reducing friction. Their risk, platform proximity can slowly dilute application ownership if Microsoft increasingly controls orchestration and user interaction layers. That's why Workday's long-term success really depends on whether it can preserve differentiated system intelligence while integrating deeply into larger ecosystems. So in other words, don't confuse distribution advantage with strategic control. Okay, then there's IBM. IBM's latest release may have been the most honest enterprise AI statement of the bunch. IBM Consulting described a delivery model built around small senior teams that rapidly turn strategy into results through hands-on execution. That sounds subtle, but it really isn't. IBM is acknowledging a reality many enterprises are now discovering. The hard way. AI transformation is not primarily a technology deployment problem. It's an operational redesign problem. The era of massive implementation armies, endless PowerPoints, and multi-year transformation abstractions is colliding with economic pressure for measurable productivity outcomes. IBM is repositioning around execution density, fewer people, higher expertise, faster deployment cycles, operational accountability, and AI-enabled delivery leverage. And market data increasingly supports that direction. IBM's recent CEO study found 76% of enterprises now have chief AI officers, up sharply from the prior year, while CEOs project AI could autonomously handle nearly half of operational decisions by 2030, as I said earlier. But there's another signal buried underneath the headlines. Business leaders are realizing that AI value decays rapidly when organizational complexity slows execution. That is becoming the defining enterprise AI problem, not model compatibility, operational drag, which brings all four companies back to the same underlying market truth. Enterprise AI value is increasingly determined by how fast trusted data, governed workflows, operational context, and human decision-making can move together with minimal friction. That's the common denominator across SAP, Intuit, Workday, and IBM. Different markets, different customer profiles, different architectures, same direction. SAP currently appears strongest in large-scale operational orchestration, where process depth, compliance rigor, and transactional integrity matter the most. Intuit may be one of the strongest emerging AI-native financial operating platforms in the mid-market because of its behavioral finance data advantage and embedded customer reach. Workday remains exceptionally well-positioned in workforce and finance orchestration, but must carefully balance ecosystem integration with platform independence. IBM's opportunity is substantial if enterprises continue prioritizing execution acceleration over theoretical AI strategy. And all four companies benefit from something many AI startups still lack: real enterprise operational gravity. That matters because in enterprise AI, distribution without operational trust eventually stalls. And intelligence without execution discipline becomes expensive theater. So what's your edge? I'd say for CEOs, stop measuring AI progress by pilot count. Measure reduction in operating friction, decision latency, and time to value across revenue, finance, supply chain, and workforce operations. For CFOs, the next major margin expansion opportunity may come less from labor elimination and more from compressing cycle times across forecasting, approvals, collections, procurement, and planning workflows. Focus on velocity, adjusted productivity, not isolated automation metrics. And then for CIOs, prioritize platforms with governed operational context, interoperable data architectures, embedded workflow integration, and measurable execution outcomes. The market is moving beyond standalone copilots toward orchestrated systems of action with accountability built in. Okay, that's a lot. That's all for now, folks. Thank you for being with us. Would love to hear your reactions, your experiences, and other thoughts. Leave a like, share with your colleagues, drop a comment below, and we'll see you on the next episode of Edge Bytes. Take care, everybody.